Hi, this is Peter Bergdahl from peterbergdahl.com, and in the next 5 to 6 minutes I will show you how to determine supply and demand for stock images, and this will help you to identify profitable markets for your stock photography. I also recommend that you see part 1 of this video, and you can find that on my blog. The markets we will research are scuba diving, medical, computer and sailing. So you can see now I'm at iStockphoto.com search function, and I make sure I will sort by downloads, which is already selected here. You can do similar things at other microstock websites, but I selected iStockphoto for this in this case. So let's start with the first niche or market, and that is scuba diving. Okay, what I can see here, there are 805 images that are tagged as scuba diving. So here we pretty much have our supply. This is how many images we have in iStockphoto that are tagged as scuba diving. So that's the supply we have. And you can see here number of downloads, more than 2,100, more than 800, 800, more than 600 and so on. And what we will do in this case, we will take image number 10 here, which is have 300 downloads. And the reason I take image number 10 is because I would like to make sure that the market is not too flat or too shallow. Because some markets may have a lot of downloads for the first image, but the image number 2 and 3 have almost no downloads at all. So if I take image number 10, then I'm ensuring that the market is not too flat. So we take note of 1,805 as supply and 300 for download. And then we continue to the next market, which is medical. Okay, here we can see we have 141,961 images for medical. So that's our supply. Take note of this as our supply, and then we take note here 3,200 downloads as demand. Okay, let's continue to computer. Search for that. Here we can see we have 80,887 images for computer, so that's our supply, and then we have 5,400 images for downloads. So we take note of that again, and then we continue to sailing, which is our last market we will research today. So here we can see there are 23,082 images for sailing, and image number 10 has 900 downloads. Okay, so now we take a note of all 4 markets we will research today. So now I will continue over to my spreadsheet here. And to save time, I already filled in this information. Scuba diving, 1,805 images and 300 downloads. Computer, 80,887 images and 5,400 downloads and so on. So all we have to do now is to divide supply with demand. And then we get the ratio between supply and demand. And then we do the same for all the other 4 markets. So this will give us a pretty good idea on how competitive a market is. And the lower the number is, the less or least competitive it is. If you have a very high number, it also means it's a very highly competitive market. So we are going to look for low numbers here. And we can see that scuba diving has the lowest number and medical has the highest number. So in this case we will select scuba diving as our main market. And of course you need to do a little bit more research than this to determine your market, but I'm just quickly going to show you here how you can determine the competition in the market. So we will select scuba diving in this case, and what you want to do now is to drill down even further in scuba diving. For example, scuba diving in Caribbean might be extremely competitive, while scuba diving in Australia might not be competitive at all. And of course there are other ways you can break down scuba diving also. What you have to do now just is to drill down further with scuba diving, and you do exactly the same as we did with the main markets. Just continue and drill further in the market. So that's pretty much it. Just I want to say one thing. I use a slightly different formula when I determine supply and demand, or rather the competition in the market. But it will give a very similar result as you see here, but sometimes it will be slightly different. But the way we have done it here is very simple to understand, and it will give you a very good hint about the competition in the market. So, but before we end, I would like to say it's perfectly okay to embed this video on your website. You do not need to ask for permission, just grab the embed code and put it on your website. Also encourage you to comment about this video, what you like about it. Please let me know your opinion. And you can also rate the video. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening.